Broskies, amigos, bras, Ash here. Welcome back to Gents Scents. Not every fragrance is created equally when you factor in cost versus what you get. Was that value and quality or something? I don't know, there's some kind of analogy. Today though, the fragrances I'm sharing with you, you don't need to worry about any of that because they are worth every single penny that you spend. Or depending on where you live, whatever the smallest form of your currency is, that. Quick shout out to my friends who live somewhere other than the US, and also shout out to you in the US as well. All of these are gonna be linked in the description below. Feel free to check them out down there. We gotta start things off the only way that we can with this video, with a discontinued fragrance. Because I have a weird obsession with discontinued stuff. I collect them, I've got some over here, I've got a whole bunch of them up there. I don't know, can you see those? Well, yeah, I think so. It goes all the way over there, like the top shelf. That's all the discontinued stuff. Now, the one I'm sharing with you is, like I just said, discontinued, has been for a while, but you can find it for cheap. You can find this one for like $40, I think even less. It's the weirdest thing because you would think eventually, these would sell out, considering they haven't made new ones for, I don't even know how long. But no, they're still out there. It is Escada's Sentiment. Also have to clarify, this is Sentiment Pour Homme because there is a ladies version, just in case. It's this one. This is the one that you want to look at if you're after the men's one. And it's such a funny thing because Escada used to make a lot of men's fragrances. I own all of them, and some of them were difficult to track down and expensive. But this one right here, easy. Now it does have like a faint, almost shampoo kind of smell to me. Not an unpleasant one. It doesn't smell bad, but it's just like, sometimes when I smell this, it gives me that kind of feeling like, oh, shampoo-esque, shampoo adjacent. Like I said though, it smells really nice, different than everything else out there nowadays, which makes sense because again, it's been discontinued for years and it came out decades ago, but hey, who's counting? It has juniper and lime off the top, so it's fresh, a little bit aromatic, and also has kind of a fruity sweetness in there, more than you would expect. As it dries down, pink pepper, nutmeg, and some different woody notes. Does not have the strongest performance compared to a lot of fragrances nowadays, but that's also partially because when this came out, it wasn't a prerequisite that everything was juiced up to the gills like Vanderlei Silva during his prime Pride days. Nowadays, that's everything. It's like one spray. Is it enough to melt the flesh off of everybody around you? If it's not, it needs to be stronger. Back then, they dealt a little bit more with subtlety, but still, stuff smells great. 40 bucks, sub 40 bucks, you can get yourself a discontinued fragrance that's gonna be different smelling than everything else out there. Although younger guys, if you're looking for something turbo sweet, really loud, again, it's not that. But for those of us that appreciate the finer things in life. After that one, let's talk about this one. This is from Montblanc, and it is Extreme Leather. When this first dropped, it was still very good, and you could make the argument that, yeah, it was still worth every penny, but nowadays you can get it for a lot less at discounters, which makes it much more attractive. Is that kind of weird to talk about a fragrance like it's attractive, but you know what I meant. The purchase is more attractive. And this line actually has some solid fragrances, some other ones that I'll talk about in the future, possibly on my TikTok. If you have a TikTok, follow me on there, @GentsScents. If you don't, don't worry about getting one. So note breakdown wise, it's really simple. Of course, Extreme Leather does have leather in it. There's also orris in here, so you're gonna get that iris kind of scent profile and musk. It's good. Now, I already said it has iris in it, but I want to reiterate, you have to like iris, otherwise you're not gonna like this. The leather is smooth, a little bit sweet, classy. You know, kind of like in the wheelhouse of ombre leather by Tom Ford, but again with iris in there. Elegant, sophisticated, and for the price point that you can get it for from discounters, it is heavily marked off, like 140 bucks, I think. A great pickup. I mean 140 bucks off, because I think it's 220 retail, and at discounters it's 80-ish, as of when I'm shooting this video. Let's go with Missoni Wave up next. You gotta go with the Wave. It's got a magnetic cap, you know everybody loves that. Magnetic cap for the win, and then it has a cool gradient as well. Pretty cheap from discounters still to this day. It smells similar to Versace Pour Homme and L'Homme Sport. Actually kind of falls between those two fragrances. Absolutely amazing. During the summer, the stuff crushes when it's hot outside. Can also do that, so that's a positive. For a summertime scent, great performance, good longevity, good projection, big compliment puller, and the versatility through the roof. So it's one of those scents that you don't spend too much and you can use it basically whenever you want. And it's better to have more fragrances like that in your collection that you will actually use than spending $300, $400, $500 on random fragrances just to flex on people. Because trust me, 99.9% of people do not care that you spent a huge truckload of money on a random fragrance just so you could be like, do you know what this is? Because they don't care. And when you wear it once a year, you're not really getting any use out of it. That money, might as well have wasted it. But on the flip side of that, if you do spend that much money on fragrances and it's not just the flex, it's because you legitimately love the fragrances and you wear them, totally different story at that point. All right, next one, let's go cheap again. Montblanc Explorer right here. Explorer, everybody knows, smells similar to Aventus, right? So you can use it year round. Once again, daytime, nighttime, super versatile. That's part of the reason it's here. Also really affordable at discounters, so that helps. It's easier to get to that last penny of the fragrance being worth it if the pennies are not as many. What? This one's another solid compliment puller. It is, interestingly enough, more popular in Europe than in the US. The bros in Europe love themselves some Explorer, what can I say? It's just one of those scents, man, a Swiss Army knife type of fragrance. Anything that is in that Aventus style, especially that you can get for cheap, realistically, man, you can just wear those out. The next one is a doozy, but before we get to that one, guys, codes. There they are, you see them? Cool, all right. The Joma Shop codes only work within the Joma Shop app, kind of annoying. Every time I wanna use my own code, I have to go and add everything through the app. It takes forever, but you can use those codes to save yourself some money. And then there are codes for a bunch of other stores as well. So use those anytime you shop at those stores, save yourself some cash. So which fragrance is next that could be a doozy? Well, my friends, hold on to your underpants because it's Drakkar Noir. I don't wanna see any eye rolling out there,
Let me reel in myself emotionally. I'm trying to be cool. It's just hard.
Drakkar Noir is easily worth every penny because it costs what, like 3 of them? It is cheap. It is very cheap. About 20, 30 bucks, depending on where you're looking. I think you could probably find it for less. Drakkar Noir is an OG. Look at the note breakdown. It has an actual note breakdown. A robust note breakdown, especially for something as inexpensive as this one. I mean, look at it. It doesn't even have a collar around the atomizer. It's just crimped on, naked style.
It's called freeballing, Mom.
That's how you know you're dealing with cheapness, baby. But guess what? None of that matters because it rules. You're gonna hit me with the fragrance with juniper, lavender, mint, carnation, lemon, cinnamon, wormwood, jasmine, oak moss, fir, leather, vetiver, pine, sandalwood, and more for about 20 bucks? All right. Now it does, of course, have an 80s vibe to it, barbershoppy, classic, aromatic fougere, let's go. And you could get a more powerful, more modern fragrance like Sauvage Elixir that's kind of in the same wheelhouse, but why do that when you can just get Drakkar Noir and smell like yuppies from the 80s? Let's go. Up next, Bentley Silver Lake, or Bentley for Men Silver Lake. So this one right here is quite affordable at discounters nowadays, and it smells a little similar to a discontinued Acqua di Gio. So you know I like that. It's bringing back that Acqua di Gio Essenza vibe, which that one, pretty expensive if you can find yourself a bottle nowadays. In fact, my bottle of Essenza has legitimately like the tiniest amount left. I need to realistically just wear it and buy a new one, but I'm like not wanting to. Maybe I will eventually, but for now, Silver Lake can get me something really similar to that vibe. And like I said, it's way, way cheaper and way easier to find. Lemon, mint, lavender, musk, some of the notes in here. Just absolutely fantastic. Spring, summer, daytime, worth every penny, easy. Cheap again, Cavalli Uomo Parfum. Cavalli is just one of those brands that is so frustrating for somebody who likes fragrances. Let me show you. These right here are awesome, or they were when you could find them, and they were affordable, especially for a lot of people, La Notte and Deep Desire. These ones just absolutely amazing. And the issue is they came out, they were affordable, and then within like 2 seconds, it felt like they were just gone. So Cavalli is just one of those brands that they come out with stuff that's actually really good, way better than you would expect. It's just how long will it be here, essentially. Now this is not gonna be, once again, probably for younger guys. This one has more of a classy edge to it. It does have a bit of sweetness in there, but it's not that vanilla, caramel, toffee, chestnut type of sweetness. It's more saffron, that sort of sweetness. A little bit of a floral aspect to it, woodiness, musk underneath. Just smells super sexy. Great for fall and winter time or an evening out, even more formal occasions. And it doesn't cost much at all. We go to another Uomo, but from a different brand, a different line. This time it is Born in Roma Uomo Coral Fantasy. Of course, by Valentino. One of the best, probably, intro to tobacco fragrances that you can get, because there's tobacco in here, especially as it dries down, but it's not really like hardcore tobacco. Instead, you get a bunch of crisp apple off the top, nice combo, fresh and sweet when you first spray it on, and the tobacco comes out as it dries down. Really versatile, big compliment puller, super easy to wear. And when it comes to the Born in Roma line, truth be told, most all of them are worth every penny what you pay for them. You get something in return that is easily worth that much. So that's gonna be the fragrance for younger guys, middle-aged guys, pretty much anybody who wants something they can wear all year and get a lot of attention. Okay, let's go next. L'Homme Rochas. This one right here, kind of similar to K by Dolce & Gabbana, K Eau de Toilette, more specifically. And I don't love K. I think that as far as the big blue fragrance lines go, that's probably my least favorite one. You know, I'd rather wear YSL Y or Bleu de Chanel or Sauvage or Dylan Blue. So that out of the way, this is a little bit similar to K by Dolce & Gabbana, but I feel like this one is better. You get more for what you pay, because this is really inexpensive. At discounters, a lot of times under 30 bucks. So, you know, you're not really gonna have to stretch your wallet too much to pick this up. And it still gives you that year-round versatility. The opening's pretty good. You've got blood orange in there, pineapple, so it's got like a different kind of vibe. Now, don't go into it thinking that it's gonna be like a super sweet, fruity blast, because it's a little more aromatic when you first spray it on, but you still get those fruits in there. This is just one of those ones that flies way under the radar, because when it comes to blue fragrances, most people are looking at the ones I mentioned, not that one. Up next, Acqua de Jo. It is the Parfum magnetic cap. Once again, shout out to all the companies with the magnets. Insane Clown Posse approves. Magnets, how do they work? You put them in a cap. That's how they work. So it's magic. The Parfum is awesome. This stuff, again, whenever you want. Summertime, yes. Winter, yes. Day, yes. Evening, yes. If I could have only two Acqua de Jo fragrances, it would be this one and the Profundo Eau de Parfum iteration, and then I'd be pretty much covered. But I would also probably want the Eau de Toilette, just the original Acqua de Jo Eau de Toilette, because that's like the first one I had. Not the first fragrance ever, that was this one, but whatever. The first Acqua de Jo I had. Don't need to say too much, it's an Acqua de Jo you already know. Big compliment puller, one of the most successful fragrance lines of all time. We got 5 more, let's speed it up for these last 5. Forever Wanted Elixir by Azzaro. They just had to throw elixir on the end. Forever Wanted was not enough. This one obviously a newer fragrance, at least as of when I'm filming this video. If you're watching this like 5 years from now, how is everything? Did some cool stuff come out? I hope so. It's got raspberry, it's got a terrible atomizer, it's got leather. Woo! I really, really like this one, man. When you first spray it on, it smells great. Tart, sweet, slightly fresh, not too much. That raspberry just really grabs attention. You don't see that too often in men's fragrances, so it's good to get a little something different from time to time. The leather is a little more, forceful in this one as compared to the Montblanc over here that we talked about earlier. It's got a little more push to it, but it's still super, super easy to wear. Ooh, it smells good. Let's get a little more leather going in here. Ferragamo spicy leather. This stuff is nice. And for a while, it's pretty hard to find. Ah, good atomizer, did you see that? Azzaro, take notes. So you've got a good dose of saffron off the top, gonna give you a really nice warm sweetness. You have black pepper, you have nutmeg, of course leather as it dries down, sandalwood also. This one just classy, really classy. Just a well done, high-end designer, warm, spicy leather scent. Basically exactly what the name is saying, spicy leather. And nowadays you can actually find it at discounters for I think usually about like 50, 60 bucks, something like that, which makes it worth every penny. Gentlemen, Eau de Toilette Intense up next. This stuff, great for lovers of iris. More specifically, lovers of iris that want that somewhat more creamy iris style of scent, but they want to wear it during spring and potentially summer. Because most of those fragrances, you know, Dior Homme Intense, Valentino Uomo Intense, not Born in Roma Intense, but the original Uomo Intense, Gentleman Eau de Parfum or Reserve Privé, Narciso Rodriguez, Bleu Noir Parfum, stuff like that. That's more fall, winter time, right? This one steps into the shoes of the discontinued Dior Homme Eau, which was really good for spring. It had a blue coloration to it as far as the fragrance goes. Got like one bottle back there that I keep sealed away. But this follows in that one's footsteps. It's actually decently similar to that. They even call it a blue iris note in here. So if you like iris, but you want it a little fresher, but you still want that classy edge to it, that stuff. Coach up next, the Eau de Parfum. You can tell this is a higher end Coach fragrance because look, it has a small little golden tag. Gold means money. That means this is good, right? So yeah, this is the newer Coach as of this video. And this one right here, actually vaguely similar to something like Sauvage Elixir. It is definitely not as aggressive as Sauvage Elixir. It's a little bit more reined in, a little bit more smoothed out, you could say. There's some cardamom off the top in here when you first spray it on. As it dries down, cedar, geranium, leather, and vetiver, some of the notes that come out. It's gonna be more, I would say, fall, winter, early spring, day or night. It is really well done, a nice take on that Sauvage Elixir-esque DNA by Coach, and especially as the price on that one drops more and more at discounters because it's a Coach fragrance, we all know that's gonna happen, even better. The final fragrance for today, Versace Eros Flame. You gotta throw Eros Flame some love, you know? Pretty affordable again at discounters, most of these are. I guess it's just one of those deals where if you can get the same fragrance for 50% off, it just makes you feel better about the purchase. Everybody knows Eros Flame, big time performance. Really good for spring, summer, fall, also winter, honestly. It has that sweetness from the Eros line. You know, it's really going to command attention. People love the way it smells, but it also has this aromatic edge to it, this nice zinginess to it. So it doesn't lean, at least for me, as far into that syrupy side of things, which a lot of people do prefer in the Eros Flame. Now, if you want more of that sweetness, of course, you can rock with one of the other Eros fragrances, and you'll be totally taken care of there too, because at discounters, those are also usually decently marked off. There we go. Those are worth every penny. Discontinued fragrances, my love. Let me know in the comments a fragrance that you feel like is worth every penny. It doesn't have to be cheap, it could be expensive, just whatever you feel like you bought and you got your money's worth. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.